Doubt the doubt. That's where we're starting today. Want to touch on that. So I had a lead client talk to me and ask me about what do I do to overcome doubt more quickly? Because so often we have, the goal or we know where we're wanting to go. And then the self-doubt comes in, or, we'll also hear confidence. I lost my confidence and something about that. And it's interesting. So when doubt comes in, it's really that you're letting the outside control how you're feeling and how you're going to choose or to show up or choose not to show up. See, confidence isn't something that you lose. You can't lose confidence. You either didn't have it to begin with, or you're letting your results control you. So if you didn't have the confidence to begin with, that's easy. We can build confidence, absolutely. But I would definitely want you to kind of look at that and decide if that's really what's going on, or is it the doubt and the old programming and all the reasons why you shouldn't or you don't need to, or you should be happy with where you're at and stay comfortable, and that's sneaking in, because growth and expansion happens when you're uncomfortable. So when this doubt comes in, or if it's a confidence issue, write it down, write it on a piece of paper, and actually sit back and look at it. Sometimes pen to paper, it is so powerful. I'm not talking about journaling or anything like that. It could be a sentence, it could be 5 pages long. Hopefully, the doubt is more small, such as a sentence, but just write it out on a piece of paper and ask yourself, is it real? Is this real? What are you putting your attention on? And you'll probably see that it's not real, or maybe you fabricated it, or maybe you are coming from reacting versus responding. And it's something that you have to build, and it's something that you should and need to become more aware of. So write out the opposite of it. So write out what it is you want to put your attention on, or what it is if it looks like if you didn't have any doubt. So again, the law of polarity, there's an opposite for everything. So everything bad, find the good. So in the doubt, find the good. Is it real? And change the programming. So write it out and then record it and listen to it. It's through the repetition of listening over and over and over again that you'll suppress it into your subconscious to where your programming is. I just used the example on another call I got off of. It's almost like when I used to cram and study for tests, the way I would remember it, and some I can still remember because you impressed it so much in your head, is the repetition going over and over. Have your flashcards, drill it into you. That is what this whole journey is about on awareness, is drilling it into you. And then once you have it, keeping it in your mind. And really, it's a journey. There's no destination on, expansion or self-help, or, your goals and where you're wanting to go. It's a lifestyle. It's a journey. It is something that you will recommit to every single day. And it's in the recommitment of it, that's where it will become second nature. And then you raise your standard again. And then that becomes the standard of what you set your daily, your daily goals around, your daily disciplines, your decisions. And then that becomes a new norm. And then when that's so programmed in you that that's just what it is, then you raise it again. And that's again setting these goals and achieving these goals. That's what this is about. So it's really about needing to change the program and stop letting the outside control you. So for me, I've recently started asking the question a little bit differently, because this This is about awareness, and it's about having all the answers inside of us and just asking the right questions. And that's why I think a coach and mentor is so very important. And I always have one, because it's having these people in my life that can help me quantum leap and point where I'm maybe not as aware, or where I need to level up. That will get you from where you are to where you want to be much, much quicker. And what I've recently started doing is asking what I need to let go of, or who am I not going to show up to as today? What am I not going to do? What disciplines am I not going to have? So it's taking what I need to do. I need to be disciplined here. I have to do this. I should be this way. I'm coming from my goal, not to my goal. All the things I talk about. Ask yourself the question differently if you're not seeing the change, or if you're not grasping it, or if it's not becoming a program and a standard. You need to change the question, maybe, because we all have all the answers inside of us. You just have to have the right question. We're our only solution and our only problem. So who do you not want to be today? And that is where we bookend our days. So when you wake up in the morning, I think it's important to have a morning routine. Most all of my coaches have talked about it as well. And it's really about getting the wins right away in the morning. You have your routine, you've made your decision, you've set disciplines, and you're already winning. Whether that's getting up on your alarm and not hitting snooze a bunch of times. It's waking up, it's getting on the treadmill right away, or going for that walk, or getting your body in motion right away, and resisting the urge to jump right on your phone, or check social media or email, or grabbing that cup of coffee. It's doing what you say and said you're going to do, and getting those wins right away. That's a lot of the importance of a morning routine, and it sets your day up for success. So keeping your word and what you say you're going to do and doing it. We also talked about recently, as you're showing up in the day and having your 3 to 5 things that you're going to do every day, bookmark that the night before. So you have your morning routine, and then you have your evening routine. So the evening routine is more looking back on your day. Where did you win? Always celebrate your wins. I did what I said I was going to do, and I showed up, and I did this even though it was uncomfortable, and I'm still here. Nothing imploded. It's all good. And it's through the reflection and seeing what you did that you'll also start. I guess a good way to say this is investing in your self-image and raising it, because you're doing what you said you're going to do, and you're keeping your word. And also throughout the day, where did you fall short? Not fail, unless you didn't start or you stopped. You decided you quit. Either you didn't even do it or you quit. That's the only time you fail. Anything else is feedback. So take the feedback. And if you did fail and you did start on something you said you were going to do, what are you going to do differently tomorrow? Who do you need to not show up as? What do you need to let go of? I care too much what people think about me. I don't have enough confidence. I don't have enough information. Maybe you're a perfectionist. And when you come from perfection, you're playing not to lose. So it's feeling the fear and doing it anyway, pushing through. So very important. And I also talked about, I wrote down hero story. So what's helped me, and I wanted to share here as well, is my daughter. My husband and I were on a Zoom conference probably about a year, not even a year ago. And her teacher at the time, was telling us how she was doing in class and all this stuff, and it was going really well. And she's like, oh, and then we had the unit where, we had to do a writing exercise on our heroes and draw a picture. And she was in 5th grade at the time. And she's like, and I have to share, her hero was you. And she said that to me. And I honestly was taken aback a little bit. I guess I was surprised, to be quite honest. And and I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh, wow. And it got me a little emotional. I was like, that's kind of cool to hear, especially if you're not expecting it. And my husband's like, looking at me, he's like, really? He's like, who else would it be? Like, of course it was you. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Total flip of my perception of like the situation and of being her mom and of how I show up and how I live this, truly live what I'm a result of all of this that I coach to, of all of this that I've talked to. I don't talk to or coach to or show up without having done the work myself. I'm a product of the product. And that, I guess, it just was a very beautiful reminder of that very thing. And I also got to take that, and now I use that as a motivational tool. So in the days that I don't want to show up, or I want to procrastinate, or maybe I'm nervous about what someone will think, or wanting to play small and shrink, or come from lack or limitation and not expand, I'm contracting, I'm not moving forward. I just go back to that, and I'm just like, what would my daughter say? What would she think? She has me in her mind as this person who has taught her this through how I show up, through how I talk, through how I respond versus react. Not always perfect, but I also know enough to admit and apologize when I haven't shown up in the light, and take 100% responsibility. And it's through the shift and all this information I found, thank goodness, finally found it when I was 40, that everything changed. So when I want to revert back, and when I want the doubts to come in, and all the programming that continues and I will fight it until the day I leave this earth, I think, would I make her proud? Would I fall off that pedestal she's put me on? What would she think? If she was sitting next to me and I had to be, show up in the light that I want her to show up and that I want her to learn from, would this contract or expand me or contract me? And it's just like anything in life, when you're striving to, like, impress that boss, or get the raise, or get the girl, or get the car or house, or whatever it is that we're doing. So many of us fall in the trap of competing against other people, or looking at what other people have and being envious or maybe jealous, and it's for them, it's not for us. And I really warn you against that, because you've probably heard this before, and my intention is that you're hearing it a little bit differently. The whole thing is that you want to start competing with yourself. Stop competing with others. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone is where they are because they got there through one way or another. Everyone has done and is doing the very best they can with the opportunities, the knowledge, the programming, the paradigms, the education, just what they put in their minds. They're doing the best they can with all of that. And everyone is fighting their own battle. Even the top 1 to 3%, they still have doubt. They still have confidence, that's issues that can sneak in, and they still can sometimes, question different things. So it's how the brain works. Our brains are wired for survival. They're wired to see threats and to react, and your palms get sweaty, your heart rate increases. I mean, think about the reactions you have biologically to stimuli in the environment and to stuff that comes your way. That's your brain. That's how your brain is wired. You're not going to meet your goals by using your brain. You're going to meet your goals by using your mind and expanding your mind and feeding your mind the right things, by listening to the right things, by raising your vibration, by looking at your energy, getting on a different frequency, getting on the frequency of your goal, and really coming from the goal, not living to the goal. And what does that look like and feel like a day or a week after you've achieved your goal? Start thinking and separating the two. The brain is very different than the mind. The mind is all encompassing. It's every part of you. And it's all of you. And we're all connected. So it's just something that I wanted to just dive into a little bit more. I know I've talked about doubt before and confidence, but you'll never hear it the same, whether you listen over and over to this episode or other episodes that touch on the same thing. You'll never hear it the same because you're always going to be different. And if you're doing the 1% better every day, where you are committing to learning something new, reading for 10 minutes, choosing faith over fear, feeling the doubt and the worry and the lack, and taking action anyway, and raising your self-image 1% better every day, you are your worst. You are at your worst right now. You're the worst version of yourself in this very moment, because you're only going to get better. You're only going to continue to expand. So as you're going throughout your day and throughout the weeks, think about that. Think about what you're letting in to your conscious mind, because you can accept or reject anything. The economy is bad, blame it on my parents, blame it on the government, blame it on inflation, blame it, blame it, blame it, blame it. And the more you point your finger out there, the more you're giving your control away. So come back to yourself, take 100% responsibility, knowing that you can create whatever it is you want. You can create your own economy. You can choose to believe what you want to believe. You can choose to think how you're going to think. And by you raising your energy and your vibration to that, that's what you're going to get more of. If you're down in this lower energy, that's what you're going to get more of. So can you see where either way you're right? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So take that and decide. Make a decision today of what it is that you're going to do to get 1% better. And always, always doubt the doubt. It'll make all the difference in the world. Start doubting the doubt and look at what you can do, not what you can't do. All right, till next time, doubt the doubt.